world through its eyes. And none of this is expensive. I think everything that's down here has a price point of under $100. It's available to everybody. And it proves a really big challenge. Because how do you deal with the data inputs that all these things generate? We're not geared for it. Because for the past 3,000 years, we've been looking at the world through only 2 dimensions. How many of you guys remember Star Trek? Anyone was a fan of Star Trek? No? I was. Okay. In Star Trek, they had a tricorder. Okay? And basically, any problem they had, they would take out the tricorder, they would look at the world, and it would be able to help them understand what was going on and what was around. Okay? Guess what, guys? It's here. And all these things prove it. Today, as I mentioned, we've got overlays that can give us information about things that are around us as we walk down the street. We get a whole new dimension. Okay? Anybody of you guys saw RoboCop? Terminator? Do you remember the way they looked at the world? It's not far off. Okay? The technology's already here. It already works. It's just that, you know, Louis Vuitton and the other guys haven't come up with glasses that are cool enough for us to wear.
They will.
They will. They will. What about keyboards as a means of input? Okay? Well, you know, I'm sure your kids aren't using those anymore, right? They're using these. They're using touch screens. Well, guess what? The next thing is I don't even need a screen. I'm going to be able to type, okay, in the air, on my hand, okay? And it gets even better. This is an example of the way the digital world will look like from inside an automobile, okay? Think of the front screen as you're driving your car and having all this information projected onto your windshield.
How can you drive?
Google already has cars that drive themselves. And so now I just have an entertainment system on my windshield as I'm driving that tells me what's around me. So if anyone of you want to buy a house, I can just take my phone and I can look around and it'll tell me what the price of my neighbor's house is. Not kidding. Metro AR, okay, enables me to find the subway station in different cities and different locations around the world. Okay, which one's closest to me, and it shows me how to get there. If any of you guys have been to London, this thing rocks. Okay, if I park my car in a parking lot, okay, how many of you have lost your car in the parking lot? Okay, you've been to the United States. In Israel, it doesn't happen very often, right? But in the US, it happens all the time. Okay, there's now an application that I get out of my car, I press a button, okay, and it'll automatically get me back to my car afterwards. Okay? Translators. Somebody else before I spoke brought up the concept of translators.
You can use your credit card to buy another car to come back.
There you go.
To fly with the helicopter.
Google Translator. Okay, Google Translator enables me to walk anywhere in the world, 50 languages, okay, and I can use my phone to talk to somebody in another language. How many remember the Babelfish? Okay, from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Okay, what do they say? It was a little fish that you put into your ear, right? Remember that? Okay, well, how many of you guys use those little Bluetooth headsets that stick in your ear? And think of the fact that now you can have one of those headsets stuck in your ear and you can be carrying on a conversation, and the processing is going to be happening here. All of these things that we've been dreaming about for so many years are actually happening in our lifetimes. I don't know how many guys are familiar with this, but this is actually something that I was working on with my old company. And I can tell you it actually works and it's real. Okay? Today we're at a point in time where facial recognition is available in a cell phone. Now when I go to a party, I can just pick up my phone, okay? And it's not quite there yet, but it's almost there. And I can immediately understand who that person is. Once I know that person's name, I can link back to their Facebook profile, and I can see who they are. And all I need is one more layer of technology that will just scan that profile and turn around and tell me, is the guy single? Is the girl single? Okay? Are they looking? Okay? And sure enough, all that information is available to me in the palm of my hand.
But that kills the magic, right?
Or does it?
Take this together with the automatic kisser, then you kill it all.
the point is that it's no longer about sitting back and information coming to you. Okay, it's about the fact that information can be brought to you remotely from different locations in the world. Okay, different sets and different data sets of information are being combined all the time to create new experiences. Okay, everything that you're doing today, especially if you're ever gone to London, is tracked, recorded, and it's all available. It's all out there. Okay, anywhere you go in London, you are recorded by not one camera, but usually 5 or 6 at a time, from different angles, from different viewpoints.
There's a lot of ethical issues with it, right?
Talk to the Queen. Think about the new ways that we're going to utilize this in terms of students. I know when I was a student, I used to have to take notes originally in a notebook. Okay, and then when I got to college, I started taking them on a computer. Okay, my life became much easier. Today, I don't even have to take notes anymore. There's a program called Evernote. I pull it out, set it on the desk. It will automatically transcribe the conversation, and I've got my notes done for me. I don't even have to go to class. Maybe I'm going to have to take the exam next, huh? Okay. So, while everyday users today, don't necessarily have the add-ons that I mentioned earlier, and most of them don't have the ability to smell. Okay. I don't know if you guys are familiar with a concept called Feed Me on Twitter. Okay. Feed Me, it's you guys know what hashtags are on Twitter, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. In order to identify information, in order to make it searchable. So when people go out for lunch, they write, feed me with a hashtag, and they take a picture of the food they're about to eat. Why do they do that? Stupid? Maybe it has to do with hierarchy. Maybe it has to do with being able to prove that I'm able to go out for lunch and eat in a very expensive restaurant and show it off to my friends.
Stupid.
More things change, the more they stay the same. So, I don't know if this is what Ray-Ban is coming out with for 2005 or not. For 2015 or not. But it's an interesting concept of lenses, okay, that will be able to see through them and hear through them. So we can actually interact with our environment in a completely different way. The data that you were used to seeing on a CRT monitor, okay, or now you've gotten used to seeing on a widescreen monitor. Do you guys know what surround sound 9.2 is, or 11.2? It's to create an environment that is so good that you cannot differentiate it from reality. Now, we have all these things that we're used to using in different locations. Now we're able to actually take them with us. Because with these type of headphones and with this type of visual interface, I can now take that data that I was used to going home for that theater experience, and I can bring it with me. But we still have the issue of processing information. Now, as people, we can multitask differently than a computer can, right? In fact, we can deal with many different inputs that a computer has no way of handling today. We can focus on different things. We can choose what to put in the foreground and what to put in the background. The question that I have is, how are the computers of tomorrow going to classify that information? How are they going to be able to deal with all the data inputs that now we're providing them with from all these new different input devices? How are we going to be able to search through that information and bring back relevant results? Will we have to put in a description? Will we have to put in a time, a place? Or will we be able to just describe an emotion and that'll be enough? When we want to sort through the information that we've got, how will we decide who the expert is? Okay? What information we want brought to the top? Whose opinion we want to trust? Both in our own social circle, as well as in the wider circle that's out there. Indexing this information and categorizing it is going to be key to being able to make it useful so that other people can utilize the inputs that we've created. How many of you guys have heard of crowdsourcing? Okay?
Two.
Crowdsourcing is a great way of getting things done. Okay? Crowdsourcing basically enables me to have lots of people give me a little bit of information that helps me build something that has a much more value than if one person contributed it on his own. Crowdsourcing is great for information like restaurant reviews. But then you have the problem of knowing whose opinion do you trust. Well, if I'm able to take that crowdsourced data and push to the top one of my friends who I know is a chef, okay, I know how to trust his opinion better than someone else's. If lots of people have taken a picture of the same place, let's say the Grand Canyon, today we actually have software that when I hold up my camera, without using GPS, without using any location data, because of all the crowdsourced data, I can just hold up my camera, or my phone, and my phone visually will tell me where I am, because it looks at the